Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Mobius Front 83, where we have a little bit of a math problem on our hands, if you can believe it, a math problem in a Zachtronics game. We are facing down, I believe, 5 of those tanks. Those 2 armor, 4 health tanks. In theory, 3 Cobras would have enough anti-tank munitions to deal with them, because the BGM-71s are going to do 2 damage to a tank on average, right? They're going to hit for 4, 2 of it's going to get soaked. Unfortunately, I haven't actually gone back and done the math to verify whether or not this is the case, but I'm pretty sure we consistently roll significantly under expected value on a mission-by-mission level on our random damage, and even if it isn't the case, the fact that it's always going to feel that way is a really good reason not to make the damage in your wargame random in this particular way. It sucks. It sucks a lot. It always feels bad no matter how it actually functions. Just don't do this. So, it is a problem, right? We have enough ammo to get the tanks down, but that assumes that we actually get to fire it all, and we actually get to fire it all at tanks, which we know will not be the case. So, I kind of think we're not going to be able to do this with a strategy of 3 Cobras and 1 6 infantry Chinook. Unfortunately, there's no other strategy available for actually killing the tanks. To be clear, we do have to kill the tanks. Or at least we have to deal with all the tanks. There are only 2 very narrow channels of movement on this map, and they're both so completely clogged with enemy vehicles that there's no way we could pull leave a significant portion of the enemy force alive but trapped kind of maneuver, as we have a couple of times in the past. So, if we want to have more anti-tank ammunition, we basically have to either pull in some of these with the absolutely terrible, completely useless anti-tank Jeep, which is countered by tanks and also by every other kind of unit, because it's a Jeep, or we have to roll with some anti-tank mines and try to just disable the enemy tanks. Now, obviously, there are some problems with doing that in, these areas, because based on our assumptions so far, and we're going to get to test this in a second, the anti-tank mine just makes the tank unable to move, not unable to shoot. If we disable a tank in this area, it's going to become impossible for us to cap these points. So, we could, I'm thinking, pull in some anti-tank mines, lay them in this area, and just make it impossible for the tanks to pull the flanking maneuver that we know they're going to try to pull because they have so much superior firepower. And then I don't actually know what we do beyond that. We bring in 2 Cobras and a Chinook, and then we have 4 points left to buy 2 of these, and boy, are we going to buy one of these things? The thing is, the machine gun helicopter is completely useless on this mission. If it could fire after moving, I think it would still be useless, because the problems we're having are 1, armored anti-aircraft vehicles, and 2 tanks. So I guess that's it. I guess that's what we're doing. Forward deploy the helicopters here, because we got to take out the howitzer, or else Jeeps are going to be even worse than usual, and they're usually pretty bad. Where do we want to deploy? If we deploy the BGM-71 in this space where we were keeping a helicopter before, it can keep an eye on stuff a little bit. Yeah, alright, I think that's the plan. And we can have the other Jeep just grab the control points real fast. Or I guess hang out, because we're going to need somebody to fight the helicopter that they bring in, right? I think. And then, where does that mean we want to set up the sniper rifle team? Now, the sniper rifle, in theory, could kill an unbounded number of tanks. The sniper rifle is not ammo limited, but it is severely time limited. And there's not really a lot we can do about that. So where do we want the sniper rifle and the ATGM to set up? We could have one of them be right here, so that they're ready to shoot things in this space. And then the other one goes I actually don't know. We could do like down here, right? So we can watch the approach and actually the point, but not be so far forward. Like if we do here, like we did before, you know, that should also be pretty safe actually. Yeah, okay. So maybe have this Chinook drop here and move all the infantry out, and then 2 sets of anti-tank mines. Do we want to... They have 2 mines each? Do we want to mine up this area mostly and try to create like an impassable group of vehicles? I don't think we have enough mines to create a minefield that dense or long. So I think what I'm going to do is mine both sides of the little passageway here. Alright, let's try it like this. I don't necessarily have high hopes, but it is at least a thing we can give a shot. So, set you up there. Set you up in position to shoot at the enemy helicopter. Can you see this space? No. Because they have that anti-vehicle helicopter, right? That didn't matter before, but now we've made it a good unit by bringing a bunch of vehicles. Yeah, it's not ideal. Okay, ATGM here, snipers up here, I think? And then, I mean, let's just unload, right? Except not in this space, because this is totally where we're going to put the Jeep. And we'll unload the last guy before the helicopter moves next turn. You just drop mines. Does that end your turn? It looks like it does. Boy, those are hard to see. And then we have to destroy this howitzer. Howitzer's here, right? Oh, I forgot about this thing. We should probably destroy this thing first. It's probably actually pretty important that it goes down. Never mind. Apparently, didn't we draw this line? Okay. Let's retry. Because we certainly can't do this thing, right? We can't have one of our helicopters take a shot from an enemy Jeep. Or from an enemy machine gun truck for no reason. You go here. You go here. Alright. So hold on. We gotta get this part right, so we may as well start with this part. There we go. Alright, you here, you here. Alright, so I don't exactly know how many enemy vehicles we can route around through there. Hopefully it's a lot. Cool. If this doesn't kill this thing, then yeah, we just... minimum damage, huh? So... like, what we needed was to kill both of them in order for this to be sound. And now if we don't... yeah, okay. That just doesn't work. We just can't have that happen. And right, like, that's a strategy that works perfectly fine if you just roll average damage. But if you roll the way the game actually rolls the player's damage, it does not work at all. Okay. I might be willing to just go so far as to say that I think this game would be significantly better if you just made it so... if you took all of the damage randomness out and just made it so everybody always hits the center of the damage range that they do now, consistently. Because I don't think the game benefits from the randomized damage in any way. I don't think there's even a single good thing about it. Let's see, if I want you to be able to shoot... okay, let me see how your shot lands. Yeah, and then we just do this and we use one of the missiles instead, because being forward that far lets us get hit twice. let's try it again. So anything that comes forward far enough to shoot this guy is potentially going to be able to receive two standing missiles. Okay, everybody can see everything. Hey, there we go. You know, that strategy works better on account of what a better job we did. Making exactly the same plays, but then just rolling higher numbers. Okay, let's have you step up here. You know, actually this can't work, right? Like I just have to retreat both of the Jeeps because yeah, we need to be able to do enough damage to actually kill that helicopter all at once in order to leave a Jeep in a place where it can be seen. But this coming turn, we'll be able to threaten it because we have the other two helicopters. So it'll be okay. It's going to take a minute to get there. And the rest of these helicopters are just for scouting and establishing a line of sight. Like, we don't actually care about them beyond that, so it doesn't really matter if they die. Alright, you should probably... Well, hold on. You should move to here. Okay, I think those guys are all set. Do we have... Yeah, we can just shoot down this helicopter right now without even spending any missiles. You back there to actually set up the way you are meant to. Now these helicopters have no more value aside from giving us line of sight, which is good. We need lots of things that only have the job of giving us line of sight because we have to establish a lot of vision over a lot of things. Okay. So now we play extremely defensively with all of our non-infantry units. Man, maybe we play extremely defensively with our infantry as well? Actually? I'm trying to bait as many of them as possible into the minefield and then figure things out from there. Yeah, maybe that's actually the right move. Then again, we should definitely take the rolls against that tank, right? Okay, so that tank is now immobilized by combat in a really inconvenient spot, actually. Oh, hey. Hey there, enemies. Now, let's set you up. And... I'm going to move these two helicopters sort of to the center so that we can move them to more combat-y positions later. So we could just go to a spot. Yeah, you're like, let's move you out of the way. Just go to a spot 6 spaces away from that tank and shoot it once to clear it out because obviously it is potentially going to be an issue. There, we'll just keep these things all balled up. I don't actually care about those vehicles. The not vehicles, but you know, those things. I don't actually care about those things. You may as well just fall back. I wonder if we'll know if they step on the mines if we don't have vision of the mines. I'm a little surprised the mines don't give you one-tile vision. Alright, we do have some opportunity to remove some things here. And then, what do we want to do with these guys? How do we want to use all of this infantry? So we can fight their infantry in the forest a lot. Oh, hey, it's a sentry gun, right. I did not remember that was there. I guess you back up. Then you guys, like, fly pretty deep. Give me... We suspect enemies are coming through here, so I'm a little leery, but like I could fly you to here, and you can at least keep an eye on whether that's true. And then I don't really want you to move forward. I don't want you to move here, because you're going to be more threatened. I think you kind of don't... Yeah. I kind of think you just don't move anywhere at all, in fact. Yep, that's pretty bad. Okay, well, they're going for it. So can they see us? I don't. It's hard to tell what can see what. Like, do we have line of sight of this tank because these guys can like see it over the trees, or do we only have line of sight on it because of this thing? I wish that it were easier to tell what units can see what. Basically, what I want to know is, do they have vision of my helicopters up here? Because if they don't, they may well move a tank into this space, and then we could blow it up. You just get out of there, and we're going to hope that they just wander right into the traps. Yep, no surprise there. Okay. We do get to see the explosion through the fog, at least. We don't know exactly what that portends. And unfortunately, if they're not going to move their vehicles at all, we do lose the fight in the woods because there's no way to beat this unit with infantry. So I guess actually we just fall back. Also, they're gonna just watch while the the bugs tear us to pieces. Yeah, the problem is these two control points. We cannot really grab these two control points without actually fighting for them. This one's far enough back that we could snipe it pretty safely, pretty easily. But they have to give up the middle two first. Okay. We might be able to work with that. And of course, they had another guy just immediately off screen. Excellent work, guys. Really, really solid. Okay. So there's no way for me to place a helicopter in a position where it will actually be able to fight that tank. I don't think we want to call in the airstrike because I'm pretty sure we won't get to shoot anything. Boy, there is nowhere we can move this far forward with one of our helicopters, but that feels like suicide. Yeah, there's no way to fight a thing that's over here. Alright, well then I pass the turn. I guess I'm not doing a good job of safeguarding these. Okay, him walking into that space is caught me off guard a little bit. And we just wait again? Because I don't actually... Like, most of our stuff can't actually participate in combat in any meaningful way. Ugh, these guys. These guys with their fast moving and... Alright, this is a problem. Definitely calling the airstrike, because they're going to have to use a vehicle to grab that if they want to grab it, and I think they do. And we actually don't want to grab this because we want them to have to move something forward here. Boy. Your sight lines are not quite what I would like them to be. So, a helicopter moved down into here is in a lot of danger. I kind of don't want to move to here because I don't want to discourage him moving into that space. don't really have anything left over here. They have brought their stuff forward. They are committing. Trying to think if there's any place that it makes sense to move these helicopters at all. And I think the answer is no. Okay. I think they maybe can't see this space. They shouldn't be able to see that space. Whether or not they can is a total mystery because there's no way to understand how line of sight works. But we do want to be in positions where we could potentially punish them for moving too far forward. Yeah, alright, we're going to try it like this. Okay, so he gets airstriked. Good news for us. And he drives back down this way for some reason? Perhaps to go for the flank? Alright, the sudden loss of our Jeep to enemy units from nowhere did create a problem. Minimum damage. Because of course. Well... yeah, we don't really have a lot of options here. We don't have a lot of units left, and we know they have at least one tank. Alright. They have a tank that is stuck now. Alright, so you're out of big missiles, but you still have most of your small missiles. This thing we can harass from outside of its range of fire. That's pretty good. And then I think we might need to have somebody come and pick these guys up. So the only vehicles that we know for sure that they have at this point are the two that are trapped over here. We might actually be good now. Like I said, I think the mine-laying helicopter, the anti-tank mine-laying helicopter, is a really good example of exactly the kind of thing that this combat system needed. I think that was a real smart addition. Okay, yeah, so still in perfect health, still has functional weapons, just no treads. That's how we figured that probably worked. We're going to take up some more aggressive positions here just to try to make sure that we are actually done with enemies. That does mean that this Jeep is not very useful anymore. I think I'm going to move this Jeep to here, so next turn we can, unless they stop me, we can make this move. They can see this guy now. I'm trying to draw some of them back. We gotta manipulate their movement a little bit. Okay. So if we do move the Jeep up here to grab this, we get punished for it. But at the same time, they can't uncap it in any way. Yeah, I think we win if we do this. So you guys have to just run across because we can't pick you up. You guys have to move like this because we can't let you get eaten. But we now have a situation here where we can just kill all of their units. Right, because they have no way of beating a Cobra unless we stick it down here with the two tanks. I was gonna say, why would you move that way and not kill the Jeep? But it's because they had they had another plan on that front. Okay, that's it. That's game. Now we have to finish actually making the moves happen, but we did get them. And unfortunately, it's not going to be a very fast finish to making the moves happen either. It's actually going to take us a while to execute all the stuff here. I could probably have done this more efficiently. Alright. We didn't end up getting as many of the... Oh, I forgot to... forgot to put the unit in the helicopter first because my brain was already in 3 other places. Whatever, it's fine. I feel like maybe some of these animations could go. Alright, well that was a little bit of a nightmare. Thank God for helicopters.
I'm thirsty. Now you hang in there, trooper, you hear me? We're getting you out ASAP.
He touched the fruit punch.
I'm thirsty. We're gonna go back through the gate right now, you hear? That's all the nice clean water you can drink on the other side. Big lakes of fresh water. Prettiest you ever saw. That's right, trooper. It's gonna be alright. It's all gonna be alright.
Look at Benjamin Dancer being nearly the only human in the conflict. Alright, so now we got the 82nd Airborne coming in. Protect critical assets as they are escorted back to the gate. Capture a TIS-330. I do so love to capture a TIS-330.
Gentlemen, the message from command is clear. America is facing the greatest threat to its existence in history.
Ain't no greater threat than America, I guess.
Our mission is to secure vital assets that will ensure this threat is neutralized. We're gonna make it so these ugly-ass bastards can never fuck with us again.
Ready to give these pieces of shit the hell they deserve, sir?
Hell yeah.
Let's fucking do this!
I mean, I feel like if that's the thing that we care about, doesn't just closing the gate do that? Like, they had to... Alright, maybe we're concerned they would find another way to open it. So they got... truck escort missions. So we have to successfully escort 4 trucks to target location, which is... That's the destination. Where are we coming in from? Okay, we're coming in from the top right. Weird. So that's a weird thing to suddenly be happening. So we get 6 cargo trucks, and we have no idea what we're up against. I mean, it feels to me like you want to avoid the roads, probably, right? If I were going to set up a bunch of defenses, they'd be set up along the road. And there's this path through the woods back here. I mean, I'm sure it's not going to turn out to be as easy as all that. We get no helicopters or anything for scouting, so we're going to have to figure this out on the fly. 5 points to start with, 10 points at phase 2. And no tanks. Well... Boy, we just have no idea, huh? I guess, like, a Sheridan's just a generally good thing, and it has a guy on it, and then also APC, and we just, like, figure it out from there. I mean, that's not a lot of anti-air damage if they bring in helicopters. We could be in a lot of trouble. But also, man, air defense teams suck, right? You have to get a helicopter to hold still for 2 turns, or you have to draw them into shooting at you, which is a thing they will never need to do on a mission like this, because we're the ones who have to be moving. I guess let's do this thing. We have so many suitcases filled with family heirlooms. Why would you bring family? What would be the purpose of... Okay. Never mind. Doesn't seem operationally necessary to me, but what do I know? Okay, they do in fact have helicopters. Rifle team... Okay, looks clear on that side. Everybody through quickly. Especially everybody who is in range of the helicopter. So what kind of... You have powerful anti-vehicle weaponry. Right, that makes sense. Okay, so... Can break line of sight over here. You just shouldn't move. And then... We need to make it inhospitable for this thing to get closer to us, basically. We need to position such that it's really awkward for it to move in. How do we do that? I could put the Sheridan in here and just try to get all the trucks through as quickly as possible. I mean, that's scary, because we don't have enough space for them all in there. So we'd have to shove some through here as quickly as possible, and then who knows what's on the other side. Guess I'm just gonna do this. We'll have that guy's... He can defend this area for now, and then he can run through to the other side quickly afterward. Oh, hey. Also a tank. Also, there's a tank. Alright, well you gotta stick your head through, you gotta see what's what. Oh, cool. That's bad. Alright, well... That just consumes... Yep, okay. So that's why you can't do that. Does the air defense team really have to have 2 health? It's like they don't want you to ever use units. Alright, let's try a slightly different strategy. So you have 6 range. You have to be deployed in front of the trucks for you to be able to defend the trucks. But if the enemies bring in a tank, you just die. Like a tank plus a helicopter. I guess they're using these helicopters that don't have guns on them, which does give that guy at least a little bit of a chance. And you only have 2 range, or 2 ammo, because like we wouldn't want you to find a situation where you could do something and actually be useful in the role. Feels like we should bring a Sheridan. Like it's so good at so many different things. Yeah, and then mortar carrier is going to be worthless. This thing's pretty close to worthless. Why can't it just have a gun on it, right? Just like a normal one of these would be fine. It's very difficult to justify it. We don't have any idea how many tanks there are going to be. Alright, it sucks, but we're gonna do this, and then I don't think we move forward. I mean, the way the reinforcements are set up, we are disincentivized from moving forward. Okay, there's no particular reason to set up here, so I guess you can get out there. And then, honestly, this shouldn't even be this far forward. I think we just sit. Because moving forward without most of our units into a smaller number of their units is just like horrible play, right? Alright, and then everybody's got to back up because all of our units are cartoonishly bad. Yeah, so you can go to like here for the moment. Yep. This is the only thing we can do. Wow, that sure is a lot of stuff. Okay, so... my heat round unfortunately only has 2 range. But yeah, like the way this is set up, we can't actually use the anti-tank weapons to counter tanks at all because they can't kill helicopters. This space is safe. And then you can move to here, that's fine. Okay, from right here, the helicopter has no shot. But now with multiple tanks, they can just roll both the tanks forward and kill the air defense team, and then we're helpless. They're not going to, because they don't want to win, but they absolutely should have. They know how my units work, so they knew that this guy wasn't in any danger. Alright, well... okay, and then we have 10 more points, and... how do we deal with... we buy 3 more Sheridans, and we... yeah, like... your plan for dealing with helicopters is just drive forward and shoot them 3 times? Because that's the only thing it can be, I think. And then with 1 point left, you buy something with armor, probably. Because otherwise, you're just going to get torn apart by their mortar carriers. A mortar carrier of your own doesn't do anything. So I guess it's this? But it's pretty bad. Yep. And from here, we in theory have a resource advantage, right? So we should be able to just get all of the dudes out of the cars and then drive the Sheridans forward and shoot this thing down. That shouldn't be a problem. And now it doesn't matter what happens to this thing. Which is good, because nothing good can happen to that thing. So 6 spaces from you is here, and I think that's an okay spot to have somebody try to set up. Alright, so you have that. You have a couple of anti-weapon team or anti-armor teams, which is a pain, but not really any worse than a pain. Okay. Oh, we just have to chill here for a second while we finish setting up and having the Sheridans break a whole bunch of stuff, and then we can make some moves. Okay, you... I feel relatively certain that we've seen shots across this much of the corner of a space on several other occasions, but alright, that's fine. Let's go ahead and just blow this thing up. And then... in theory, it might... you know, these guys are having some deterrent effect. We probably don't want to move them. So if we move them into the open, they're just going to immediately be killed. Actually, you know what? That was stupid. I should have left that Jeep right there. It was actually doing something, because now these guys can safely move to there. I was not thinking enough. It's fine. With the 3 Sheridans, we can do a lot of work here. Interesting. I will move forward for that. I'll try to get some trades. Okay. That's some good luck. Which means that we can just do this now. I don't exactly know what my plan is with this Jeep. And then we can kind of play leapfrog with these two. We just move them forward into positions where if the enemy moves forward to challenge us, we can shoot them with the other ATGM. And I guess we are, in fact, just going down the road, because this is terrifying. Although now that we have the now that we have 3 Sheridans, we could potentially at least blow up some of the enemies before they can consume our vehicles. Of course, he just had a guy show up and do maximum damage, because they only do maximum damage. And then, yep, that's about it for us. We have very few units that can actually do things, unfortunately. So unfortunately, the amount of time it would take for us to move forward here... Let me do this. Kill you. We don't actually care about these guys at all, I don't think. Let's disappear into the woods. And then somewhere out here there's a TIS 330 team, but like, who knows? They could be anywhere. I'm gratified to see them do minimum damage every once in a while. It's certainly way less than the 25% of the time that it should be. But, oh hey, look, we found all the enemies. So... Jesus Christ. Okay, well, back up. They were really able to afford all this on the... It's hard to tell, because like, their points budget doesn't mean anything, because they get stuff pre-deployed as well. Yeah. So of course we rolled very poorly on the damage of our moving heat shot. We are going to lose that tank, and we're not going to... They're not even going to have to pay for it, really. I guess the plan is to just back off and actually go along the road, because trying to go through the shortcut gets us murdered. Can you get in the Jeep? Yeah. Let's do that. We do need to get rid of this other mortar thing. So actually, there's no reason for you to go all the way over there. Oh, except that that's the first space that can see that. Despite the fact that this should work, we see enemies fire across that much of an obstruction all the time. Well, okay, I mean, just back way up, because that's what they're going to make us do. Right now, in theory, they don't have any vision of any of our vehicles, so we should be able to bait them into moving forward unsafely. Of course, now that they've gotten to kill 2 of our Sheridans for free, off of random max damage shots, we're not actually going to be able to do anything about this helicopter anymore. So yeah, the move is like put people in these positions and hope that they wander into us, basically. And there's a chance they just 100 to 0 these guys in a single turn. Okay, they didn't go for it. Well, you're dead no matter what, so you may as well do something. But yeah, now with only 2 Sheridans, we can't really fight the helicopter. It would be safe for them to fight us, like, in the reverse of this situation, because of the way the damage rolls go. It would be safe for them to move up, but if we move up, we will definitely lose the Sheridan that we used to do it. I don't think it's winnable anymore, honestly. You're not going to be able to go fast. This is definitely one you are going to want to wait for the Phase 2 reinforcements. So I do think we want to hole up in the corner. We don't necessarily have to hole up in this corner, but we definitely don't want to go far from our deployment zone, because we need 15 points of units to push forward with. Once we have the 15 points of units, maybe we do push this way and get in here and try to blow up the hostile critters, because if we don't do that, then they have absolute control of this area, like completely unbreakable control. But if we have vision over here, we could potentially threaten them via a couple of sight lines, and we could also push this way. Yeah, this area is a fortress. We have to go around it, not through it. So, am I allowed to just not deploy the trucks until Phase 2? Because that would be nice, right? So, like, how do we want to do this then? Put up, like, maybe we do put up this thing and one of these and one of these. Yeah, the unturn button is okay. I guess, actually, hold on. I want to be positioned like this, I think. Because we want these guys to be further forward than everybody else. Otherwise, the helicopter is a real danger. So you set up. You don't get to set up. So it doesn't matter where we put you. Okay, but now that helicopter has to back off. And now that that's true, okay, let's get you off of here. You do move to there and do your setup. And then we just sit here until Phase 2. So you have a range of 6, which is no longer safe. Yeah, okay. They decide they have made an error. They would like to try this a different way. Okay. So now we buy 3 more Sheridans, just have 4 Sheridans simultaneously, and now we're actually a little bit dangerous. What is it? We could buy 3 more Sheridans and then also, I guess, another one of these things so that we can leapfrog them, because otherwise, like, moving forward is like, incredibly dangerous. We don't actually know where the helicopter is, but we saw it break the tree line. We probably can wait until Phase 3 to bring the trucks in, right? I'm gonna try something here. Let's bring these in like this. And then you here. We're not going to get aggressive on them. No, I must deploy the trucks this turn. Okay. Oh, apparently that's not a space. Well, the trucks don't all have to survive, I guess is the only good thing I can say about that. We're going to have to rearrange things pretty seriously next turn. Okay. So, let's rearrange things pretty seriously. Okay, so we definitely want something in that spot. Let's move you out so that we can move something way back. And where's the next space that we set up a rocket, the SAM rocket in? It's like here maybe? So we move the Jeep to here, put that guy down, and then we can do that creep forward space by space deal. I mean, it doesn't need to be space by space, but you know what I mean. And then with the Sheridan in this position, we can move this guy, but I don't know where to. I guess right here and to set up, and then we can move the Sheridans around and stuff. And that means you two fall way, way back to the corner. There's no reason to bring the trucks forward until we resolve the immediate danger. Okay. So, oh right, we got dudes on these things. How do we want to do this? So we definitely want to shoot you with something. I guess it can be this one. I don't know that it matters too much which one it is actually. Alright, and then a second one has to help, because of course it does. Okay, thing will not have clean shot on us from there. We can just heat round you. Excellent. You may as well dislodge a guy into that space. This is where we want to set up the next SAM. At this point, I guess you are mostly a scout. I mean, the Jeeps do carry resupplies for the SAM ammo. I think it's probably safe to move this guy back into a Jeep, though. Not the other. Oh no, the other one's not set up yet. Never mind. But like, come here and be ready for that. I'm going to do this. Let's get a little aggressive on these anti-tank guys, because they could be a problem. Well, not those ones specifically, on account of they've thrown their lives away, but you know, in theory, they could be a problem. So you guys may as well just keep moving forward. You set up, which makes it safe to load you back into the car. We definitely need to have more of these guys forward as well. You being set up makes it safer for me to move this thing up, because this way we can swarm the helicopter, potentially. Yeah, I mean, you guys can do this for the moment. That seems okay. Right, I'm assuming that they have at least 2 more mortar vehicles, right? We know that, based on what they had last time, so moving guys forward is not, like, completely costless, but they do get me some vision. Okay, so definitely do this. You guys move to here, and then we bring down the helicopter real fast. I think that's pretty important. And then... Can you see... You can't see this or that. From here... Yeah, okay, from here you're slightly better set up. And I don't really know where we want to move the SAM thing to. We're not moving this one until the trucks are ready to go. You're in a good spot. Here, let's try to get some vision down here. Alright, they're getting their final reinforcements right now. We just need to keep breaking them down. I thought the thing that moved in here was an APC. Like, we saw it. Okay, let's get rid of those guys. And then... I mean, we may as well heat round push, because this thing already has the ability to fire at us. And now, unfortunately, we do not have the ability to hit it again, so we just potentially... In fact, not potentially, probably lose a Shillelagh here, or you lose a Sheridan. And boy, we sure do roll minimum damage a lot. Now granted, if he takes the shot, he is super dead, and that may well be enough to keep him from doing it. He may choose to back off instead. We just kind of have to hope. Okay, we can have this Jeep run forward and drop a guy off up there. Alright, good luck for us. Okay, let's give ourselves a little bit of cover to work with here. Alright, so these things have pretty high health. Not a lot of armor, though. I wonder if it is reasonable for us to just clear out this field. Didn't we see that there were 3 of them before? So the other one's going to be either here or here. Oh boy, that's really risky. That thing had too much health. I don't think it's a good idea to run up and try to heat round it. But we can back a couple units up. They have 2 move? Yeah. We can back a couple units up and put them in positions where they can do anti-vehicle fire later. And... I mean, and nothing. There's not really another... There's not a second part to that plan. Boy, these things are really patient. They're doing a really good job of waiting exactly out of range of a thing they can't see, and so they don't know that they're exactly out of range of it. Kind of suspicious, honestly. Okay, interesting maneuver. I am increasingly thinking we will never need a second SAM unit. Boy, it's really dangerous to step across here. Because we have no idea. Like, it could be tank, and these 2 guys. And if we cross and it wasn't safe to cross, then we just die. Alright, I'm gonna throw the second Jeep out here. Okay, it's not immediately a threat. So you move forward. You guys come back, and we're gonna try to push through here and just open this up. Fingers crossed on that working. Boy, yeah, they did. They did know the instant we were no longer watching. They knew. Well... So I think that pretty well confirms that they do not function by the same vision rules that we do, which is pretty common. Well, that's a shame. Pretty common in these kinds of war games. They can see us more than we can see them. That's a shame, but nothing we can do about it now. So we're just gonna have to withdraw. Okay. I did this wrong. Ah, shoot, I did this wrong. Well, I'm going to do this in the hopes that it will just eat that instead of one of the Sheridans. And then, yeah, we have to withdraw. Unless it can eat that and one of the Sheridans, I suppose. Well, at least we're wasting their mortar fire. And boy, they have a lot of mortar fire. This is tough. This is a tough one. The presence of that helicopter really complicates things. Okay, so now we can just mostly fall back. In fact, I can take you to here and put the Sam dude out and make this area a little safer. Alright, so you can't see anything right now. It is still unsafe for them to move over here, and hopefully they'll continue to be paranoid about that. And we might be able to actually make this an area that we can bring the tanks through. Okay, so this was definitely a mistake on their part. We just rush this thing and get it for free. You may as well just get on there, and then we'll roll you out to here. And do we just look ahead with these guys? I guess so, right? Like, we don't necessarily know that they have another helicopter. Okay, there's our TIS team. And we're going to have to do something about the tactical truck, because it's going to become a threat. In fact, it can now see some of the scientists, although it doesn't have range to shoot those ones at least. And we can bring Sheridans back. I guess, again, we don't know for sure that they have any more air units, so it might be reasonable to have these guys run. I'm gonna do that. Let's move you. The thing is, if I move these guys, you know they'll drive tanks up the road immediately. So I don't think we can use this to threaten the mortar truck, unfortunately. Okay, that's interesting. I would have expected they wouldn't be able to see that guy anymore. Or let me clarify. They can't see that guy anymore, so I think they should stop being able to shoot him. Okay. The answer to how aggressive is too aggressive is that one there. That's the one. That's how aggressive it is. We can move forward to here and put up a decent threat. Not a ton we can do about this unless these guys blow this thing up, which they totally might. But yeah, that Jeep is dead for sure. Yep. We had to find out somehow, right? Alright, I think we have a pretty huge advantage now, though. So let's move you guys in here to play offense on that. I mean, I don't know what to do with you. We do need to start moving the trucks forward at some point. But I think we've now got a path. We can draw them up into here very safely, and then we can start pushing through. And you guys, I guess, just do something like this. We should probably shoot at this thing. I don't want to use the good bullets on it, or the good shells. I'm gonna move to here and heat round it, and do no damage because right, it has 3 armor. Heat round's pretty unlikely to penetrate. But now I have this forward position from which I am a threat to these guys, and hopefully they'll just fall back. Yep, looks like. So he can't be in any of the other spaces around that. Is there anywhere up here? Okay, that's interesting. At some point, somebody's got to push first, and we really want it to be them, given the way our vehicles work. As soon as we're through the trees here, we can move this guy forward. The stationary heat rounds are actually, like, potentially helpful here. I guess moving forward to here gives me that. Yeah, that's worth doing. I'm not going to move you. Alright, I do not know exactly how many of these light tanks they have left, but we definitely gotta do something about them. Okay, I would really like to be able to move infantry through this area, so it'd be cool if we could... Wow! Okay, just max damage. I don't remember if that disbands the already extant swarms or not, but I sure hope it does. Okay, you guys gotta get through here. So if you want to live, you have to go there. These guys are potentially going to be able to try to machine gun trucks, which I don't love. But also can't do anything about, so it's going to be what it's going to be. Let's have you go to here and be a problem for them. You just absolutely stay put. Alright, so that removes all of their vision over here, and that means that we can... I think the plan is just to push along this back area here. It's not actually safe to do so yet, but we can at least draw the trucks up this way. So we definitely want somebody here. Can I shoot across? Okay, now that that thing doesn't exist anymore, it's no longer a line of sight blocker. Alright, so let's do this with these guys. I think we're gonna maybe make this, actually. The biggest problem is right here, of course. Man, fuck you. Never not lethal. Have we ever seen them do that move and have it not work? The one where they just randomly drive a tank up into range and take a suicide shot? So, I mean, we've certainly seen them not max damage, like, on plenty of other occasions, but I think it may be the case that they only do that when they know it will work. Which is, you know, you would like them not to know that ahead of time. Alright, so we think they have at least 2 more of these, including this one, right? Because we saw one drive down this way. Those are the only things we actually still care about. And they have like 3 or 4 mortar jeeps. Okay, there we go. He heard me catching on, and he was like, "Quick, quick, throw one away." Should we do this with a shillelagh, or should we move up and use a heat round? I'm gonna move up and use a heat round, because this guy only has 1 long-range round left. And then we're gonna move you... yeah, this is better, but not great. So we're going to plant this guy right here, get us lots of vision of the surrounding area, and then we can... Actually, never mind, he's just going to get mortared. I think we can start working on the mortar trucks now. Now that we think they only have 1 of those light tanks left, we can get a lot more aggressive with the mortars. And if we are aggressive with them, they do not get to control their space nearly as much. They do not get to move away from us. All right, I'm gonna do a wild thing here. We'll just set you up right there, even though it's not optimal. Okay. I wish I knew where that other tank was. I'd feel so much better if I knew where that other tank was. I think it looks pretty safe to start moving forward. Now remember, these guys can sometimes do 2 damage. Okay, minimum damage, of course. Sort of goes without saying, I guess. You also can sometimes do 2 damage, which is not awesome for me in this situation. Do you not count as a... Huh. Oh, right, camouflage. That's why. I was like, why can't I shoot that with my heat rounds? But yeah, it's because it's camouflage. So... we don't exactly know what is safe and what isn't. I feel really bad for the people in the truck that got shot at several times. I'm sort of letting them down a little bit. I think we're going to try to set this guy up right here. Or right here, more likely. There we go. These units, they'll catch up. They'll get there eventually. How do I want to deal with you? So you guys do have normal battle rifles. I mean, we probably just do this and endure the fact that this guy might do an actual point of damage to us. Yeah. And then if something rolls up over here, like, we might want to have one of the Sheridans fall back to provide a little bit of cover in case, you know, they had something waiting. Because we still don't have any idea where that other tank is. I guess we may as well move you forward, too. You got us 2 damage. Was there ever any doubt, I ask you? I guess you should probably just finish those dudes off. And in fact, we're gonna slow play a bunch over here. There's no reason to get hasty. These guys, I think their job is going to be just coming down here and getting in control of, or getting some vision through those woods. They're just like waiting right here, you think? Or did I miscount? I thought... Maybe I miscounted. Maybe they're actually out of tanks. Oh, hey, that's a problem. Uh-oh. But yeah, it looks like I did miscount. I thought we saw one drive south on the same turn that we saw another one from the south drive up north. Okay, well, it looks like we're cool to just go, so... In one sense, it doesn't matter that we just lost Sheridan, and in another sense, I've already started composing the letters to your families. Sorry, your husband and or son was killed by a giant space bug. Really can't tell you much more than that. Probably shouldn't have told you that much. I don't know. They're from... I was about to say, that's not space. They're from Earth, but Earth is part of space. The one thing I know about astronomy is that Earth is part of space. Alright, somebody stop it. Okay. I think we incidentally cleared all of the aliens as well. All of the bugs. They're not aliens. They're totally normal Earth bugs from Earth.
A message to the soldiers from the other side of the gate. Look around. You'll see there's nothing for you here. Lay down your weapons. Surrender, and we'll return you to your world. Why die here, so far from home? You're fighting for no reason. No point.
Get a load of this bullshit.
No, I think he's right, though. And if the gate closes with us on this side, then we just have to die in bugworld.
They really expect us to believe them?
They attack us and then whine about it? It's just making me want to kill them more.
Hell yeah. They should answer for what they've done.
Don't let it distract you.
Not distracted, sir. I'm just fucking mad.
Well, the U.S. Army's got no problem with that.
Okay, I feel like the actually you're the bad guy's point has been drilled home enough. Subtlety is not really the strong point of this story. Now fighting on their own soil, enemy forces are able to regroup and hit the invading U.S. military with air support of their own. Meanwhile, members of the 82nd Airborne are assigned to protect a convoy carrying high-ranking military officers and scientists back toward the gate, despite the official line that no resettlements from Parallel Earth will take place. Yeah, it's a little bit of Operation Paperclip. I don't think anybody ought to be surprised about that. Well, I think that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time tomorrow, the plot's going to start happening at some point, right? Like, I feel like we got one plot development relative, like, right at the end of Chapter 1, and then a second plot development at some point since then, and then sort of just in a holding pattern while we listen to the soldiers talk each other. So, when you come back next time tomorrow, plot, I hope, and we'll see you then.